This is your Weather Xtreme video for Saturday, August the 5th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks so much for tuning in. And we have yet another cold front. There's a satellite image this morning, and the cold front has reached basically very close to Clanton this morning. And we can see that on the surface map. And that means that the showers should be confined primarily to the area from about Clanton southward, and over the northern half of the state or so, we should see a pretty nice day. In the upper atmosphere, of course, we continue to have this ridge in the west and a trough in the east, that once again keeping the eastern half of the country out of any excessive heat. Temperatures this morning, they're pretty nice, actually. A few degrees cooler than we saw the last couple of days, as morning lows dipped down to around 70 degrees in most locations, at least at the time of this chart. A little bit cooler in the Tennessee River Valley, but the important thing to note is that the dew points are much lower in the Tennessee River Valley. They're in the lower 60s, whereas from about Calera southward, you see they're in the lower 70s, and I think that that's where the showers will be, down in the south part of the state. Radar is clear this morning, although we do have some showers along the Gulf Coast. Watch warning map, not too busy, but we do have flash flood watches in parts of eastern Kansas and the west central part of Missouri. Some flash flood watches also out there in Nevada. And we do have air quality concerns in the northwestern part of the United States, as well as around the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex. QPF over the next 5 days through about Thursday morning is expected to be on the order of 1 to 3 inches. I know it's a pretty large range. The problem is these are all going to be in the form of showers and thunderstorms, so not everybody will get a uniform amount, but I think that's the potential for spots that do get more than one shower. We're going to see on the order of 1 to 3 inches. Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk for day 1 today across parts of Kansas and Missouri and northern Oklahoma. For day 2, the marginal risk settles down into the Mid-South area from West Tennessee across Arkansas into the Red River Valley, with another marginal risk area along the eastern slope of the Rockies. For day 3, which is Monday, we see that the marginal risk is actually over a good portion of the northern half of Alabama, extending all the way from central Texas all the way up to the mid-Atlantic states, where there is a slight risk over parts of the Delmarva area, as well as eastern Virginia. The tropics remain fairly active in the tropical Atlantic. We have those two systems. The first one in the Caribbean still does not look too good. It's still disorganized. It is forecast to move along, and right now it looks like there's probably 2 possible scenarios here. One is it goes into Central America and dies. The other is that it actually nudges a little bit to the northwest, actually would come out over the southwestern Gulf, the Bay of Campeche, and it could intensify then, and that's the forecast the GFS is suggesting, along with the European. Way out in the eastern Atlantic, we have this area of disturbed weather, which has some potential for developing over the next couple of days, and that will be moving on a track that will take it across the a little bit further to the south than we saw yesterday, but of course the GFS not developing it that much. In the eastern North Pacific, we have Tropical Depression 11. That is not expected to develop into anything. All right, the 06Z GFS model run this morning, and there's the trough that we've been watching move across the Great Lakes is moving into southeast Canada, and that has allowed the front to come all the way down into South Alabama, or at least approaching South Alabama. And you can see from precipitable water values that it's very dry over the Tennessee River Valley, and then we get a good gradient with the highest precipitable water values along the Gulf Coast. That's why I think the south part of the state is the main location for showers. The flow goes pretty much zonal on Sunday, but notice there's a very strong little shortwave over southern Illinois. That is what is going to be producing some rain, and that's the reason for that flash flood watch you saw on the watch warning map. But as it does, the front is likely to pull back to the north, and so moisture just comes right back up. So I think we're back into unsettled weather on Sunday. Monday, the flow remains somewhat zonal. We do have a nice little trough over the eastern half of Texas, and we're going to be seeing these little embedded flows in the upper flow embedded short waves in that upper flow, so that's going to help to enhance showers that will be driven primarily by the heat of the afternoon, but also we may see showers into the early morning hours or actually develop in the morning as those little short waves move through. Tuesday, the flow remains pretty much zonal. Again, we've got these little short waves. We see one kind of over Arkansas. There's another one up in the Kansas-Nebraska area. And again, those help to enhance showers, but we stay pretty showery. Now notice down over the Yucatan, the GFS is showing a good deal of development down there. And again, precipitable water values for us over the southeastern U.S., they're way up there. So it looks like showers stay pretty numerous all the way into midweek. The flow remains zonal, but we notice that little closed low. Well, it's not showing as a closed low, but it's a little disturbance down there in the Bay of Campeche, the GFS and the European. There's the GFS, and then there's the European, both on track of bringing it into the southwest Gulf of Mexico and developing it. Neither of them particularly strong, so it looks like maybe tropical storm if it gets there, potentially maybe getting into the Category 1 hurricane status. Over the southeastern U.S., the flow remains zonal. We do note that the 594 contour from that Bermuda High begins to nose our way, but that we're still in the soup, and so we see that we stay with a chance for showers. And again, the GFS suggesting it going into the coast of Mexico, the European also having that, but the European a little bit more developed, a little stronger with that storm system, but locations pretty good for both in very much the same locations. The flow remains nearly zonal, although we're seeing a little bit of kind of a dip there across the area from the eastern Dakotas down into Oklahoma. And the problem is that we have nothing to push the moisture out of our area, so we stay pretty wet. We say that way, although we're now beginning to see on Saturday, a week from today, we're beginning to see the troughiness begin to develop, so our flow is now becoming less zonal, but we still have these little strong short waves. You see one over southern Missouri, and once again, that helps to enhance showers and thunderstorms. In the meantime, of course, we're not seeing anything else going on, but we stay in this high precipitable water air. So the bottom line is it looks like for much of the week ahead, showers are going to be pretty numerous. Looking out into Voodoo country, the 594 contour bulges in across the southeastern U.S. from the Bermuda High, and so the GFS is a little bit more bullish on this run in bringing that ridge in. The ridge is really there when it comes to the Wednesday, the 16th of August, extending all the way over to Texas, and then we begin to see it being pushed back as we have these traveling systems across southern Canada that help to dig the troughiness over the eastern part of the country. That'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video. Expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for notes on Alabama's weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great day and Godspeed.